All right, boys and girls, welcome back to the drive-through. Special shout-out to class meetings. Hope class meetings are going well. Okay, hey, here are the questions that you guys asked to see from the 6-3 worksheet G. Okay, first one is number 6. I totally understand why this question was asked. It looks like these two things could be combined, and in essence, they cannot. They're done. You cannot combine a 7 radical x with an x radical 7. It'd be kind of like, let's see, how can I put this into, if you had 7x plus xy, and that's not even right, really. It would almost be like 7x plus x squared y. And you could not combine those two things. In fact, you couldn't even factor anything out easily. And so that's the best way I can explain it. That answer is right there. It's done. It is simplified. Okay? Okay, well, hopefully when you see this, you think that what do I need to do in order to square something? Well, I need to multiply it by itself. Okay, so from here, now I need to FOIL it. 4 times 4 is 16 outside. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 radical 3. Remember, that's just like 4 times 2x. Inside, you get another let's see, negative 8 radical 3. And finally, last, okay, 2 radical 3 times 2 radical 3 is 4 radical 9, okay, which is 4 times 3, which is 12. So it's a positive 12 because you got a negative times a negative. All right, so we will write 12 plus 16 is 28. Negative 8 radical 3 and a negative 8 radical 3 combine to be a negative 16 radical 3. Not easy. Okay, let's look at 16 now. 2 radical 3 minus 3 radical 2 times 2 radical 3 minus 3 radical 2. There won't be an easy step in this entire problem. First, 2 radical 3 times 2 radical 3 equals 4 radical 9 equals 4 times 3 equals 12. Okay? Outside, 2 radical 3 times negative 3 radical 2 is negative 6 radical 6. Inside is again negative 6 radical 6. And last, 3 radical 2 times 3 radical 2 equals 9 radical 4. 9 times 2, 18. Okay, so you get 30 minus 12 radical 6. Not easy. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try it. Okay? All right. Multiply the conjugates. What's a conjugate, you might be asking? Well, since this is minus 9, this one's plus 9, they both have the same first term. So that's what makes these things conjugates. Okay? So, FOIL. First, 3 radical 2 times 3 radical 2 is 9 radical 4. 9 times 2, 18. So first is 18. Outer plus 27 radical 2, that's 9 times 3, minus, nice. Well, let me tell you, this is the nice thing about the conjugate, is you always get rid of those middle two terms. And then you're left with a minus 81. So your answer is 18 minus 81 And 18 minus 81, oh gosh, what is that? Oh, negative 63, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so what's the point of a conjugate? The point of a conjugate is in this next one. Okay, so what do I do when I have this type of thing on the bottom of a denominator? I multiply it by 1. What form of 1? That form of 1, the conjugate. Okay, I'm not going to test you on this. So this is strictly for extra credit. If you stop watching the video now, I understand. Okay, on the top, I got to FOIL it. 3 times radical 5 is 3 radical 5. Outside. 3 times radical 2 is 3 radical 2. Inside. Negative radical 50. Last. Negative radical 20. I can simplify some of those things. On the bottom, I get radical 25 first. I'll simplify this below. So radical 25. Outer plus radical 10. Inner minus radical 10. Remember, that's the nice thing about the conjugate, is that the middle two terms get canceled. Last minus radical 4. Okay? So we'll go down here, and to our next step we'll do in red. That's 3 radical 5. That's as simple as I can write it. Plus 3 radical 2. Alright, now radical 50. That's the square root of 25 times 2. Square root of 25 is 5. 2 stays in there. So, minus 5 radical 2. Square root of 20. That's the square root of 4 times 5, which is 2 radical 5. So, minus 5 radical 2 minus 2 radical 5 all over, okay, let's just call that 5 minus 2. Square root of 25 is 5. Square root of 4 is 2. We'll keep going. So on the top, 3 radical 5, negative 2 radical 5 combined to 1 radical 5. 3 radical 2 and a negative 5 radical 2 combined to a negative 3 radical 2. Excuse me. All over 3. And that's my answer. Tricky. Boom!